The Cemetery Dudes by Giovanni Sticco, copyright 2025. In 2023, Giovanni returned to Sri Lanka after several years away, seeking new inspiration for his filmmaking. It was during this return that he received an invitation to a lively party in Colombo. Little did he know, this evening would rekindle a friendship with Paul Topping, an English gentleman he hadn't seen in nearly 2 decades. The reunion was filled with laughter and stories of old times. But as the night wore on, Giovanni couldn't help but notice a new glint in Paul's eyes as he spoke about something that intrigued Giovanni immensely: cemeteries. "I've been exploring some old cemeteries here in Sri Lanka," Paul said, his voice trembling with excitement. "There's something about them: history, spirits, places where the dead refuse to stay dead. It's a world few people know about, but it's waiting to be uncovered." Giovanni's interest peaked. "Wait, you're serious? Ghosts, spirits, old cemeteries? I've always been into the paranormal, spirits, UFOs. My cat Macy, she passed away a few years ago, but her spirit still follows me around. She's my guide." Paul raised an eyebrow, his skepticism masking his intrigue. "A spirit cat? That's a new one. I'm serious. She shows up in the strangest places. Anyway, count me in. If you're into cemeteries, let's see what we can find." From that moment on, they decided to join forces, and the Cemetery Dudes were born. Armed with cameras, spirit boxes, ghost radars, and a thirst for adventure, Giovanni and Paul set out to explore the eerie world of old cemeteries and the restless spirits that lurked within them. The first investigation, Barella Cemetery. Their first investigation took them to Barella Cemetery, an old but relatively well-known cemetery in Colombo. While not the oldest in Sri Lanka, it was steeped in eerie tales and unsettling history. The duo arrived late at night, hoping to capture the cemetery's chilling atmosphere on film. The cemetery was quiet, bathed in moonlight that filtered through the trees. The air was thick with humidity, and the only sounds were the distant hum of the city and the rustling of leaves. As they crept through the gates, their footsteps were muffled by the soft earth beneath them, their senses heightened by the darkness and the weight of unseen eyes watching from beyond. "People say this place is full of spirits," Paul whispered, his radar buzzing intermittently. "Whispers in the night, cold spots, it's got a reputation for being haunted." Giovanni nodded. "Let's see if we can contact one." He switched on the spirit box. After a moment of static, a voice crackled through, barely audible. "Help, cold, lost." Paul's eyes widened. "That's clear. Someone's trying to communicate." They followed the signal deeper into the cemetery, their breath growing colder as they ventured further. Then, just ahead of them, they saw it, a faint, pulsating glow, unmistakably Mace's spirit, her form shimmering like a will-o'-the-wisp. She stopped near an old, weathered grave. "I think Mace's found something," Giovanni said, glancing at Paul, who nodded in agreement, his face pale. They approached the grave, which had only a simple inscription, IDS. The candles surrounding it had burned down to stubs, flickering in the breeze like the dying embers of some forgotten soul's last breath. The air was thick with an unnatural energy, and the spirit box crackled again, its voice now desperate. "Go back, it's too late." Paul stepped back, his instincts screaming. "Maybe we should listen. This doesn't feel right." Giovanni, however, was undeterred. "We're here for a reason. Let's keep going." Going viral after their chilling encounter at Barella Cemetery, Giovanni and Paul decided to share their findings. They uploaded the footage to YouTube, documenting their investigation and the eerie presence of Mace's spirit. The video quickly gained traction, drawing viewers who were captivated by the authenticity of their experience. "This is amazing," Giovanni said, grinning as the view count soared. "We've got something here." The video led to the creation of their YouTube channel, The Cemetery Dudes, and each investigation brought in more subscribers, all eager to see what otherworldly encounters the duo would uncover next. Their adventures took them to more cemeteries around Sri Lanka, many dating back centuries, and each one seemed to unveil its own dark secrets. They explored overgrown graveyards hidden deep in the jungle, seeking the unknown and unearthing haunting tales buried beneath the earth. But their most shocking discovery came during an investigation that would change everything. The pirate treasure Val Ca in Goa, India. While investigating an ancient cemetery in Goa, Paul stumbled upon an old, tattered map hidden inside a crypt. Marked with cryptic symbols, the map led to a secret location in the region, rumored to be the final resting place of a notorious pirate's treasure. The pirate, a ruthless figure from the 18th century, was said to have buried his fortune in a hidden crypt only a few knew where. "This is it," Paul said, barely able to contain his excitement. "This map leads to the treasure of a pirate buried right here in Goa. I can feel it." Giovanni was equally stunned. Pirate treasure? A treasure hunt? This is like something out of an adventure movie. "We have to follow this," Paul insisted. "This could be huge." The adventure continues, with their YouTube channel growing in popularity and the promise of a treasure hunt that spanned across India. Giovanni, Paul, and Mace's spirit set off on their most thrilling journey yet. They traveled to ancient cemeteries across the island, each more mysterious than the last. Clues were hidden in forgotten tombs, sailor graves, and crypts abandoned by pirates, and with each discovery, they drew closer to the legendary treasure. The deeper they ventured into Goa, the more suffocating the atmosphere became. The spirits of the dead seemed to linger in the shadows, their whispers brushing against Giovanni's skin. Strange sounds echoed all around them, and Mace's glowing form appeared sporadically, guiding them through the darkness like a lighthouse in a storm. As they followed the map's cryptic markings, they encountered hidden chambers, ancient crypts, and dangerous adversaries, some human, some not, willing to kill to keep the treasure buried. But Giovanni and Paul were undeterred. They were on the verge of uncovering something bigger than they ever imagined. And with every step, they learned that the greatest treasure wasn't gold or jewels, it was the thrill of the chase, the allure of the unknown, and the unwavering presence of their guide, Mace, whose spirit continued to lead them through the veil between life and death. But the deeper they went, the more they felt the eyes of the dead upon them, and the more they realized that some treasures are better left undisturbed. The question remained, would they make it out alive, or would they become part of the cemetery's eternal story?